I believe Mel Kiper has a new mock draft out today where it looks like he has a bunch of trades in it. So already it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, you tap out then.
Yeah, well, at this point, right? Yeah. Because maybe, and again, it's looking like the Bears definitely, they're talking to a bunch of teams, so are they going to trade it? Yes is going to be a heavy favorite. I still think there's a small chance they keep it, but we'll see. Evidently, Kiper has like 2 teams trading into the top 2. He's got the Texans trading to number 1, and then the Colts trading to number 2, and the Bears trading down a bunch. Like, they're going to, what? And he's got Young going number 1 overall, Stroud going number 2. He's got Levis going number 5, I believe, and then Richardson going number 9 in the new mock draft.
Yeah.
So Todd McShay, the update on Bryce Young's real height is 5'10.5", according to Todd McShay. Now, I was watching the Lombardi line here yesterday on VSiN. Michael Lombardi and Stormy Bonatoni is the new host of the show. Stormy on her Instagram has a picture taken with Bryce Young.
Okay.
Now, and she said on the air yesterday she's 5'10", and it's a weird angle, but based on this picture, Bryce Young is not as tall as Stormy is.
Wow.
And so there's also, I guess, a picture floating around. Mina Kimes from ESPN had her picture taken with Bryce Young, and Mina Kimes was standing right next to me at Radio Row at the Super Bowl. She's not very tall at all. And evidently, Bryce Young did not exactly dwarf over Mina Kimes. So this stuff that we're going to see when he checks in this week, if it's 6 feet, you know it's BS immediately. And I don't even know if 5'10". Here's the picture, by the way, of Stormy. Stormy on the air yesterday said she's 5'10". Again, it's about where this picture was taken, but they're at best, Bryce Young is on eye level with Stormy. And you can follow Stormy on Twitter. She's at SS Stormy. I will have to ask her about the handle sometime.
Yeah.
But look at that photo, Paul. She's looking right at his eyes. He's not looking down to her at all.
It's definitely cause for concern. I mean, I have to agree with McShay. You can't have like the Oompa Loompas here at quarterback and it's Baker Mayfield and every pass gets batted down at the line of scrimmage.
Uh-huh.
You know, can't have it. Is it the be-all, end-all? Who knows? But we're also not talking about there's 2 discussions here. Will he be a good pro or does he deserve to go number 1 and be in that height?
Yep.
So this is wild here. But I will point out that nobody knows anything, remember? Because go back to what the 49ers just did with Trey Lance. They trade up all these picks to take him top 5. He's the 3rd best quarterback on their roster. Mm-hmm. Mr. Irrelevant comes in, saves the day. They have the 12-game winning streak.
That's right.
And takes him to the NFC title game. So whatever.
Now, McShay has stated for the record that he likes Bryce Young a lot. But he did add, quote, if I'm a GM, I'm scared to death of drafting him.
Well, he's also catching heat for the Carter comments, too, about whether he was told that. I was told Carter's got some... no one's apparently said there's any character issues ever with Carter.
Yeah, everybody reached out from Georgia and said, wait a second, where are you getting this from? Right. So a team probably leaked that to him and he went with it. But again, you can say both those things, right? You can love Bryce Young and still say, if I'm a GM, I'm scared to death. Because if you are a GM and you take this guy number 1 overall, or extreme, it doesn't have to be number 1. If you take him, whatever, number 2, number 3, wherever, but especially because there's this... there's a lot that goes into it when you're taking number 1 overall. The hype is just there. The expectations are much higher than if you go number 2, which is silly. But if you're a GM and you take this guy that high, the reason why you need to be scared to death is because if he is actually 5'9" or 5'9.5", and he's thrown around like a rag doll and he gets hurt by week 6, you're never going to hear the end of it. And that's why Chris Ballard, the GM of the Colts, came out and said, look, I've done a terrible job. I whiffed on this. And we'll do whatever we can to get it right and take the guy that we need.
Yeah.
And and he has a history here. There was a great thread on Twitter about Ballard's history of drafting players. He has never taken a quarterback, and he hasn't taken too many, but he does not take quarterbacks who are below 6'1". And he's had a lot of guys in the history here that are 6'4", 6'5", or other guys that they bring in. So
the Colts, right? That's with their history. You keep going the veteran route, Rivers, Wentz, Ryan, and it hasn't worked out. So he's okay. Well, I have to try to get the young quarterback here, go that route. But for these, I don't trust any of these guys. And it's absolutely, I'm going to trade up and give up significant assets to do so, whether it's Richardson, Levis, Stroud or Young? No way. I'm better off. I'm better off crossing my fingers and hope something doesn't get done in Baltimore, and I'll try to give up 2 picks, 3 picks to get Lamar Jackson. I can have an MVP, and I can pay him. Go that route. I don't know what I'm going to get about these guys, or what I have with these guys, and you're 50-50 on some of them.
Yep, there is an offshore book that has the prop up team to select first in the draft. Texans are the shortest shot at plus 240, followed by Indy plus 275. The Raiders are 4-1, and the Bears are plus 450. There is someone who covers the Bears last night on Twitter said the Bears at plus 450 is the worst bet on the board. So a guy who covers them said basically they're absolutely going to trade the pick.
Yeah.
So
concur.
I will say this about the Colts, and this is just me, thinking about line season and how they're framing this. Again, Ballard pointing out we'll do whatever we can to get and everybody jumped to the conclusion, well, they're going to trade up to number 1. Irsay kind of doubling down and saying we like the Alabama kid. The Texans are in their own division. Maybe there's a chance that the Colts love a player like Levis or Richardson, and they're doing this because they're going to force the Texans to trade up and give up too much and then take Bryce Young, and all along they can get either Richardson or Levis, or maybe it's even Stroud at number 4, and they don't have to move. That could be a play inside their own division. Again, Lions season, we'll say this, we'll create a narrative. Texans got to trade up because they're going to give more than we will, and they're going to take the guy that we don't even want.
You like Stroud?
No,
second
I'm
overall
not.
pick?
No, I couldn't take him.
No.
I couldn't take him. No. I'm with you. I couldn't take any of these guys.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I might be better off taking a hooker in the second round.
Well,
I could do that too.
You might be better off just saying, you know what, we're good right now. We're not going to take a quarterback. Take my chances of being bad next year. I'd rather have some of the guys coming out next year.
Right. Well, I'll do a bridge. I'll go with one of these veterans that's out there, or Winston or somebody like that.
Yeah, if you told me right now that I could completely stink next year and I need a quarterback right now and lock up the number 1 pick in the draft, I would do that and take Caleb Williams over any of these guys this year. It would be worth it to me.
Yeah, fair. Lamar Jackson, next team, if not Baltimore. Atlanta 3-1, Jets plus 350, Raiders, Bucks get them out of Bucks for choice. They're on record. Trask is going to get the job.
Yeah,
they're going with Trask.
Oh, and they're hamstrung with the salary cap.
Sure, right. Yeah.
Pro Football Focus, the landing spot, they say Baltimore. Going to go back to the Ravens. I don't think that's. They had a good breakdown. They had basically the top 50, I think, free agents and where they're going to end up. So it was a good read yesterday. But I mean, it seems like Baltimore and the Packers kind of seem like the same team to me right now. It feels like the Packers, they're done with Rodgers. And doesn't it kind of feel to you that because of what happened with Deshaun Watson's price that they're going to say, nah, we're going to move on from Lamar?
It doesn't look good. They're not close on the money. And the other thing, you're right, Watson has screwed this up, at least his agents in this deal. The other thing is, I don't know what to believe in Green Bay with Hobbit guy. I mean, but this McGinn's podcast that they're done with him. He didn't put the work in. He was lazy. And then Jeff Darlington said everything I'm hearing, the guy I trust says he's coming back. So, but I would think Rodgers is bye-bye. And then Carr is meeting with several teams at the Combine in Indy.
You can add the Panthers to that list.
Yeah, I could see that too, because you're right. Carolina, you said it yesterday. You're talking about giving up huge assets to jump from 9 to 1.
Yes, a lot of picks there.
So Carr's talking with Carolina, the Jets, Saints, see where he winds up.
Yep.
And the Jet. The Jets haven't had a quarterback with a winning record since the Sanchez. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
How bad it's been? So
So you brought up Carr to tie it into the Jets. He's actually minus $2 to go to the Jets. Pro Football Focus has Carr going to the Saints at 3-1. Again, we said this on the air yesterday.
I could see it.
We don't think the Jets. We don't think that makes sense for Carr. We think the Saints would make much more sense for a guy like Derek Carr. Carr's not going to handle New York very well at all. That will not go well for that guy.
What a horrible run with the Jets. Zach Wilson 8-14, Flacco 1-8, Mike White 2-5, Darnold 13-25, Josh McCown 5-11. Bryce was Petty a second round pick?
Well, I think so. Yeah.
Gee, there's another one.
No, he might have been 4th round.
1-6. Geno Smith 12-18, Sanchez 33-29. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Pro Football Focus, they have Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones each going back to the Giants.
Yeah.
And then you can also bet on the Raiders starting quarterback for next year, week 1. Rodgers minus $2, Stidham 4-1, Daniel Jones plus 450. Pro Football Focus has Jimmy Garoppolo. He's 6-1.
I could see that.
So could I.
Yes. Where's Hopkins going?
Giants might be a landing spot for him.
Okay.
Visit VSiN.com to get current odds, listen for free, find showtimes, and download VSiN sports betting podcasts.